Welcome to this episode of Industry Insights. Today I'm talking to Andrey Fedulov, Vice President FRS Europe at ecolab. Hi everyone and welcome to this episode of Industry Insights. Today I'm welcoming Andrey Fedulov as a guest and please Andrey, could you introduce yourself to the audience?
Hi, Stephanie. That's really a pleasure to be invited. And my name is Andrey Fedulov. I work in ecolab, which is the leading company in the industry of food safety and water and climate. For 9 years already, been always in a food retail part of the business, leading the division since already 3 years and been responsible for the European part of the business. And thanks, Stephanie, for inviting me.
Well, happy to have you today. So we'll kind of continue our path that we've started this year. And the final part, so to say, is the cleaning industry. You already mentioned you are with ecolab, and ecolab is busy in so many fields. But for this interview, let's focus on the food industry. So my very first question would be, Andrey, when you have new clients come on board, how do you start working with them? Do you go to their facilities? Do you do an on-site check? Do you look at their audit reports? How would that start?
Hi, Stephanie. That's actually an excellent question because this is the core of our job. Setting up the new customers is a very time intensive. Our experts visit the sites. They try to understand what are the details of the current customer procedures, what are their operations, how thorough are the cleaning and disinfecting processes. They try to assess also the challenges that the customers might be facing. We look at the hygiene plans and try to optimize those to the best interest of the customer. The one of the core problems is that we need to make sure that everything is done as simply as possible for all levels of the organizations to understand exactly that the procedures and processes are easy to manage and are followed through as well. We try to look at the audit reports if the customer is willing to share those reports, because the audit reports are definitely helping us to understand what are the pain points of the customers and where we need to pay more attention or less attention. In principle, we as a company, as ecolab, we are also doing the audits. We are not only the chemical company, but we are also doing a lot of in the area of auditing and digital services. So customers might be buying audits from us. Then for that reason, it will be much easier for us to understand those pain points because we are doing the audits ourselves. And if customers are buying our digital services like electronic checklists, etc., it also helps us to assess and evaluate what are the areas to focus on. And with the help of either the on-site visit or those digital and auditing tools, actually the best way will be the combinations of all three. We can understand what needs to be changed, improved, or fine-tuned on the customer side in order for us to make sure that what we offer is fitting to the customer needs. And then when we offering to the customer, when the final offer is in place and the program is defined, we start visiting the sites, helping the customers to implement the program, train the personnel, and do it regularly. It's not only the one visit, but also the follow-up visits to make sure we are fine-tuning, retraining, etc. And you know, the retail environment, if we speak about the retail in particular, is very vulnerable in terms of the people turnover. It's a common challenge for many of our, let's say, customers. And we need to redo the trainings and to revise what we have done on the sites quite frequently. For that reason, our engineers are on sites on the frequent base. So I'm not sure if it's answering all the questions, but in that area, but feel free to ask if you have any doubts.
Well, absolutely. No, that's a great answer. Andrey, are there common challenges with a lot of your customers that you run into rather frequently? that you can share without giving any names, of course. But I mean, often there are, you start a new company or with a new company, setting them up and everything, and then you come to a certain point, and that is pretty common with every setup that you experience. And when you go like, oh gosh, we're at that point again, might it be internal hierarchy challenges, or as you said, the people turnover, or is there anything that you can share in that regards?
Yeah, absolutely. Probably the most common challenge or problem, call it the way you want, uh, is actually the training piece, because people on site require, first of all, a very simple training that is easily to be understood for all the layers of the organization. And secondly, due to the relatively high turnover in the industry, it needs to be repeated and repeated. And even if the person is trained, there is a tendency that people tend to forget or do not completely follow the procedures. For that reason, when we carry out the application, the human factor is extremely important.
Yeah.
And the human factor, we cannot be on site every day. So the job of cleaning and disinfecting is done by people on site, be it the customer associates or the third-party associates, which is sometimes used by our customers, and they need to be retrained and refocused several times, at least a year. For that reason, we, again, as I mentioned already, our systems are so simple that you cannot imagine. So customers should not even notice it, but still some training is required. Not only the training, of course, because speaking about the simplicity of the system, we have, for example, the color coding, and the color coding, the product that are used for certain applications are normally coded, colored differently as the products that are used for the other application. And that's fair not only for the products, but also for the connectors, because we have our closed loop systems, and the closed loop systems has also the color coding, so that it's almost impossible not to match two colors together, right? So, but again, training is core. And one of the pieces of training, probably I can demonstrate it here. I have it on my phone. We have a special application. It's probably not so.
It's kind of difficult to see.
Yeah, but there is a special application. And then the customer may scan the barcode of the product, or say, I want to clean a specific application. Let's say I want to clean the floor. Then he pings the floor, and then he gets to the area which explains which product needs to be used, how it needs to be used. There is a simple video which explains the procedures. So as little words as possible, more visualization of what needs to be done, just to make sure that also different people can understand it easily. And that is also one of the things that we are trying to simplify for our customers, just to make sure this challenge with the training is tackled properly.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great way, using an app where you can have individual training videos, kind of if you forgot about stuff, helping you remind what to use, how to use it, how to apply stuff. So that is, a great thought of yours, a great, idea that you came up with to helping your customers. But then again, also, as you mentioned, the turnover, people maybe being on either sick leave or vacation. I think it's still very important, as you also mentioned before, doing effectiveness checks on site. And how do they turn out? What are your results in general? Is it what do you experience when you go to your customers and do those checks? Are they usually handling your instructions well and follow the training, or do you see a lot of challenges there?
Normally, as I said, it's very simple to follow. The procedures that we implemented customers are relatively or very simple. And it's also well supported with the systems we have in place, like dispensing units and the products, the color coded products, etc. So it's really not very easy to make a mistake.
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
But if you are a newcomer into the organization, of course, the training that needs to be done on site should be done by the employees, by the customer employees. There might be some challenges connected with that. And we also are testing at the moment connected dispensers, which make it less challenging for customers to have the right procedures in place, because then you can monitor what is the usage of this and that product, if the product is used at all, for example. In our industrial part of the business, which is big food and beverage sites, etc., there are already connected equipment and different types of equipment, and those are used widely. So whatever you need to understand, like temperature, like the concentration, etc., is measured. It's more difficult to implement in the retail environment because it's multiple locations that you need to measure, small devices, etc. For that reason, we also have, and the customers also have the checks. Normally, it's paper checks, and paper is, first of all, difficult to monitor and difficult to handle. It's a lot of work for our customers. And for that reason, we're also offering to our customers the digital checklists. So those digital checklists should be done by customers. And what our customers do, they regularly check how the cleaning procedures are done. And if the cleaning procedure is not done, then the problem is immediately escalated in the system to the next level of management. And if that next level of management doesn't react, then it's escalated further. With that, you're establishing also the better control in place. And I will not show you again my phone, but I also have the system on my phone. So
that's good. That's really good. So, everything's in place and the base is laid out. So let's hope all your customers have a good food safety culture internally, so that people, if they see something happening, or if they are not 100% sure and are not able to get the answer to their questions through the app, hopefully they feel safe to go and ask the next level manager that they need to be talking to in such a case. But yeah, it's everything should be fine and stores should be clean. That's great. But where do you, we all know that still things happen, contamination of food happens. Where do you, from your experience, see the most contaminations happen? In which field or which area? Can you give us an example there as well?
Yeah, of course, there are a lot of risky areas in principle, but normally customers well understand that the most exposed areas like food production surfaces are well cleaned and disinfected. So that is kind of normal practice, relatively easy to handle, but you need to supervise it quite well. But still, there are certain areas where the attention is not that high. And the example would be, for example, floors and drains. In principle, it's paid less attention normally. And this is the area where, for example, listeria outbreak can come from. For that reason, we are providing different tools, products, solutions, and also establishing the proper procedures and processes for the customers to make sure that those areas are paid equal attention as the food contacting areas. Because the outbreak or biofilm might be happening either on the floor or in the drain if it's not cleaned properly. So these are the two areas where some additional attention is required and normally not getting the right attention to, but we help the customers to make sure it's paid attention. And the other areas is the surfaces that, let's say, are common for public and also for the employees of the customers. And these can be the toilets, the toilet handles, the door handles. It can be the touch screens, because these are the surfaces which are common not only or used not only by employees but also by the visitors of, be it the store or be it the restaurant or any other venue. Our customers are well educated and their employees are well educated how they need to handle the food safety risks. We cannot say about the visitors.
Of course, yeah.
We cannot say the same about the visitors. Sometimes they know, sometimes they do not know, because they are not exposed to food safety risks every single day.
Right.
And those surfaces that are kind of shared between employees and the visitors can be the risky areas, and needs to be paid also an additional attention, because if, for example, the employee of the customer visits the common area and touches the door handle, and then he comes back to the area where everything is clean, disinfected, all the knives are in perfect condition, nothing is possible to happen, but he doesn't wash his hands properly and follow other hygiene practices, then the risk of the outbreak is still there. So these are the areas that need to be paid also some special attention.
Yeah, and I can also imagine with the fresh produce, and people would not necessarily have to come directly from a bathroom. They could, just come with not properly washed hands, like consumers, and just grab stuff and see if that's ripe or not, and touch various produce. And then, they kind of spread their germs and maybe bacteria all over the place. That is something that
normally customers try to protect it, because when you are in the retail environment, normally you do not have a direct access to fish or meat. It's normally handled behind the counter, right? But still, you don't know
vegetables.
what might
Vegetables and fruit that is to be touched. Okay. Wow. So there's a lot to be aware of, to take care of, and this has been a great example. Thank you very much, Andrey, for your time to share all your knowledge with us, and let us kind of peek into your world in Ecolab, and how the challenges you're facing and the solutions you've come up with. So this has been really informative. Thank you very much for that. And also, of course, thank you for your time to doing this interview with me. I very appreciate that. And maybe we'll do a next interview some other time, on a different topic. So thank you very much.
And I noticed that even though we are not prepared, but our colors are also matching. I don't know how it happened.
Great minds think alike. No, thank you very much, Andrey, and have a great day.
Thank you, Stephanie, and have a great day too. See you next time.
Yes. Or maybe GFSI, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Enjoy your day. Bye.
You too. This has been today's episode of Industry Insights with my guest, Andrey Fedulov. Thank you for your attention, and see you again soon. Bye.